Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Politically Correct Ghana lesson 217. And today's discussion is titled Reform ECOWAS Sanctions, Part 5. Sometime last year, today being the 26th of February 2024, last year, August, we did a video requesting for ECOWAS to reform the sanctions against coup-led Niger. And few weeks ago, we heard that ECOWAS has reformed the sanctions against, they have toned down the sanctions against Niger, which is a plus. I mean, we are happy ECOWAS has done the right thing for the people of Niger, because it was going to bite the people, that those sanctions were going to bite the people more, or did bite the people more than the coup leaders. So then today we want to look at Senegal, Ivory Coast, Togo, and the coup leaders. Okay, with Senegal, Macky Sall, who is the prime person, he's the president of Senegal. He has created a kind of situation, a democratically led Macky Sall has created a situation, a constitutional impasse, a constitutional blockage, such that there will not be any elections, because he wanted to contest the third time and then he later changed his mind. The opposition members or their followers have made it very difficult for him to continue his third term bid, as against the constitutional provision of 2 terms. Okay, and in his 2 terms, it's a 5-year 2 terms, making 10 years. It must be enough for any leader to lead, but well, it depends on the country. However, in the situation of Africa, or West Africa particular, ECOWAS has to stamp in. ECOWAS has written to Macky Sall, that's the president of Senegal, to ensure that the elections are carried out. However, the issue is this, that their unicameral parliament, which is the National Assembly, has voted in favor of a suspension of the national or presidential elections of that country till December, when he should have been handing over in April this year. Now it's gone all the way to December. So then what happens? That's what we don't know. If Parliament takes a decision, it makes it difficult. However, the interesting bit here, which is the crime against democracy, is that Macky Sall used the military to force out those opposing members of Parliament against his suspension of the presidential elections. He suspended the presidential elections before even Parliament sat to vote on it. So his act preempted Parliament to act. I hope I'm making the situation a bit clearer. Okay, based on that, it is so clear that he got the soldiers into Parliament and they kicked out all the opposing members of Parliament. That notwithstanding, the crime of Macky Sall here, in my view, of which ECOWAS has to take serious, is he preventing getting the army to drive out, the army to enter the chamber of Parliament, to drive out the opposing members of Parliament. And a vote was carried out to suspend, to ask an affirmation of his suspension of the presidential elections, is where they have to take serious. And so sanctions must be placed on Macky Sall, not on the people of Senegal. Macky Sall and his parliamentary members, that's the BBY, that and all those who voted, the 105 members who voted, 104 members rather, who voted for the suspension out of the 165 members, over 40 members, now about 50 members were kicked out of Parliament. 50 parliamentary members were kicked out of Parliament to allow the vote to be carried out in favor of Macky Sall's suspension of the presidential election. So all those 105 members or 104 members who voted for the suspension of the presidential elections in Senegal, whom Macky Sall himself and maybe the Speaker of Parliament, that's Amadou Diop, and Macky Sall's the executive members, must all be listed, and the sanctions must be placed on them. The proposed sanctions are this: 1, travel ban against all those listed, Macky Sall and then the chairperson of Parliament and all the 104 members who voted in favor of the suspension of the presidential elections of Senegal this year must be on the travel ban. None of them with their service passport and their personal passport, date of birth, everything, data known, biodata, all should be known and shared globally. With the support of AU and then United Nations, they should be given travel ban. That's 1. 2, they should not be allowed any medical services, no medical personnel should travel from the rest of the world into Senegal to give them medical services. No. They should remain there. Then all their bank accounts outside the shores of Senegal must be what? Frozen. Those sanctions would bite them and leave the people of Senegal to be free. This way, when it bites them, if they fail, we go to the second level. That's what? Add their immediate family members to the sanctions, and they will do the right thing. They have from now to March, now February 26 to March, to conduct the elections, and then he hands over. Macky Sall hands over as president of Senegal, and then another person takes over. That same sanctions should be extended to Ivory Coast. Alassane Ouattara, he has been there 3 terms, and if we are not careful, he will go for the 4th term. Then the same sanctions must go to Nyansigbe of Togo. He has been there 5 times already. ECOWAS leaders, don't mess around. Don't mess around. Let's be straight on this thing. Their constitutions is given, all their constitutions have given them 2 terms, but they are trying to change these constitutions. Don't give them that opportunity. Let us stay within what it is. And that message will go to the military juntas in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso appropriately. The name is H. Kwame Afam. Let's make democracy work. Democracy is not the best form of governance, but it offers the people the opportunity to express their views. Even though inadequate, is better than autocracy. Thank you.